Jaws of Victory and Kharkov battles we're looking at here on Christmas Eve night. These actually just came in today. They made it on the 24th. And here I was thinking I would have nothing to do tomorrow. And then it's back to work on Monday. So not too much time, but we'll take a look at both of these real quick. Probably leaning toward Jaws of Victory more than Kharkov battles. Wasn't a big fan of Fall Blau. The first one in this series. I had a lot of issues with the rule book and the way it was written, a lot of mistakes. And Kharkov Battles already has it shipped with, as they call it, last minute additions here. So there's already a lot of changes to it that now I'm going to have to go back through and kind of look over. And really looking forward to this one. This is from New England Simulations. This is Jaws of Victory. And I think this video will probably be going up on Christmas Day, so I'm recording it just before midnight. And this is the one I've been waiting to get, and I think the component qualities are really great in this. The two books came wrapped in this neat sleeve here. I thought this is a pretty neat touch. And then on the inside, you have information about all the commanders involved in the battle. And I thought that was a really cool touch. But they came, wrapped like so. And it was actually flipped, something like that. So that was a pretty nice touch. And again, great components in this one. So I am looking forward to busting this out. For this one, I printed the rule book out because I wanted to be able to mark it up and everything. Yeah, the quality though is just great on this. So we'll probably be going over this and setting up the intro scenario. I also like that they have this separate little combat phase sequence list here. And the counters themselves are, here's the turn record track. The counters themselves are good quality. They're thick too, so I do like that. And this looks like you would expect a war game to look, right? Not the biggest counters, but I do like the silhouettes here. The counters look great. You're not looking at like a rhombus or anything weird like that for the armor. Yeah, this is pretty good quality. So again, this one uses a variable combat strength type thing. And I think that would make it pretty interesting for replayability. I just have to get those rules down. So the rules themselves aren't too bad. I've read harder rule books, definitely. So the aircraft counters look fantastic. Yeah, so I think we're ready to give this one a go. Then you have your maps. Maps are pretty clear. You can read them easily. You can denote where the towns are, the woods, the rivers. So I really like the look of this game, and I've seen some other people playing it, and that's what got me interested in it. And I saw it was a little bit reduced on their website, so I grabbed it. Not too much, just a little tiny page. You can also download the latest rule books off their website. So speaking of rule books, let's take a look through that real quick and see what we're looking at here. I'm just going to kind of set this aside because we're definitely going to come back to this. Let's see what we got here. Rulebook wise, not too bad. All right, let's get this out. But yeah, I do love this. This is a great touch. Normally you throw these inserts away, but I'll be definitely keeping this one. I do like that. And here's the rules. Color, which I feel like is a must nowadays. Now they have the updated rule book on their website. You'll see a red triangle, I believe it is, showing you what's been updated or inserted into the rule book, and I just printed it out. And there you go. There's a color example of all the units. The combat strength class C, that's your determiner there with your chits. They have a thing called armor interception too, which I found to be pretty interesting. I was reading about that. So there's a lot in this book. The text isn't, there's a lot of text in here, but I figure if I just kind of take it turn phase by turn phase and just follow along in the book, then I should be okay. But I haven't had to learn a new system in a while. I've just been playing OCS a lot, and heck, I don't even have that memorized. But so if you take a look inside the playbook here, I think it's interesting that they do a good job of breaking down all the units that were involved and showing them, along with the markings on the counters, exactly all the divisions and the higher up organization for each one. 2nd Ukrainian Front, 1st Ukrainian Front, and they show the commanders and how everything breaks down. I thought this was pretty neat, and they also do the same for the Germans here. You have the 1st Panzer Army and the 8th Army and how they break out. And it does a good job of giving a little bit of a opening intro here, and then it will tell you how to set up the game and which charts and maps to take a look at. And there are quite a few bit of side tables here, so I've set out the game turn record track, and over here we've got scenario info. This will come down, of course, then we'll have combat results table and terrain effects, but then you also have the sequence of play and the German player card, which is significantly larger than the Soviet player card here. The Germans just have a lot more to keep track of here as they're getting smothered in the pocket. You've got your holding boxes and eliminated units. They do have a spot on the map. Drain key's nice and big. And again, this is one of those maps that really makes you want to fight battles on it. I think it looks really good, so there you go. I'm going to play the first, the scenario that will take just one of these maps. Definitely have to get the plexiglass back out just, at night to cat-proof it, so. And then we have A and B. Now we're getting to the large ones. And here's your campaign. Maps A and B. This is the big one. Here's the breakout. The Soviet units do not move or initiate combat, so this looks like it may be the one I was looking for. The German player conducts the 4 breakout stages of the breakout phase. I might try. This looks very intriguing. It's basically just the German player trying to get out of the pocket. Let me get to work on getting this bad boy out, and then we'll see how it goes. Only map B is going to be used, so I might have to rearrange the way the table's set up here. Okay, so for the playbooks, you'll probably definitely want to print out the living playbook on the New England Simulations website. I can put a link to that in the description of this video. There are some minor differences that they've added. For example, right above 23.7.4 here, they have added a little note about German units may only enter a Soviet-occupied hex in a southwesterly direction. So anywhere you see a little triangle like this, it's yellow in the colored version, but I don't have a color printer here at home. I use one at work. They've got some additions here. So this playbook has been updated. So I'll go off of this one. And I also found out that 23.8 is also a solitaire scenario as well. It's nice to have the colors here, so I will have to reference this for the colors of the units. That'll help, but there's some notes in here. I just wanted to make everyone aware of that. So we'll get started with that. All right, let's go on to the setup. All right, as we go on with setup, there's some important things to note about the setup in terms of the counters and how they work in this game, in Jaws of Victory. So you're going to have a few German units that have breakdown counters, and when you go to set up your scenario, you're going to see a setup sheet that has, oh, I lost my page here, 1 second, that has an abbreviated notation to set up the unit. So, for example, in Hex 2721, we want to be placing German, or the GER mechanized unit with a step. Their steps are down to 3. And this is from the 5th SS Panzer Division, 11 Corps. So you have to be careful when you grab these because that is a breakdown unit. I believe I'm doing this right. And you can see here that, let me get, I'm a little bit zoomed in here. Sorry about that. There's 2 breakdown battalions up here. you'll notice that only one of them retains the anti-tank value. I believe that's what they call this little dot right there. But these two are breakdowns of this main unit. I believe I'm doing this right. And it says it's on step 3. Now in this game, you can see his strength is D right here. So you want to take out the D counter. And normally they would be, if they were full strength at 5 steps, the number of steps is this little denotion right here. And normally they'd have a 16. But this unit is down to 3 because of the little subscript there in the setup. So I believe we put this on the 8 and we put that underneath. And that is the current status of this unit. I'm not going to try to say this name. It's like, I think it's Shindarovka. They're here in this town. And that would just be an example of how you want to place one of these units. So I think I did that right. Just watch out for your breakdown units. And most of that is described in the main rule book. You can see where they talk about it. Multi-step units here. And as these units incur losses, their strength is reduced by rotating the strength chit to the next lowest value. So I believe I did that right. And then inside the scenario setup, they tell you what the different notations are for setting these up. So for example, you'll see right here in the playbook on page 4, where it says, for example, 5th SS Panzer, and these are full strength, right? And then you have the 14th Panzer, 47th Panzer, 108 mechanized, or motorized or mechanized. And then you see where it has a subscript of a 3, and that means it's on with 3 steps. Combat strength of 8. Another weird thing is when you flip these counters over, you're going to see these really bad. I believe these become cadres when they're really reduced strength. So we're going to do Through Hell's Gate right here. And you just end up going right by this. So next we're going to look for is this unit here, also reduced strength 3. Make sure you don't grab the breakdown units. So we're going to take a look at the counter sheet. So these would be the breakdown units. We're going to take this one here, and that one is also damaged. So we need a D strength chit, which you'll find on your counter sheet here. We're going to pull this out. And then we got to counter clip them. A little bit of Wargamer ASMR for you folks out there. That'll go here, and they're reduced to 3 steps according to the setup. We're going to put him here, and we're going to stack him right there. I'm not going with the plexiglass right now on this map. I may regret that later. We'll see. All right. There you go. So that's just an example of how to set up the units. Now, we still have more to put in 2721. We have a reconnaissance, AA also, and then we also have an engineer. A T down to 1. Yeah, T is just a tank unit. AA, of course, is anti-aircraft. All right, so that is just an example of how to set this up, so I won't bore you with the other setups here. I'll go off camera and finish this up. All right, I survived the setup. Very fiddly, not going to lie. I may have found some typos too in the setup instructions, but I just kind of winged it. I did print out the actual setup for this, the new version of it. So I think I still found some typos, but nothing too major. So here's the setup, and I believe the breakout needs to occur here. And here's the top-down view. Let me get that up here. I put out the plexi, so it's a little bit of a reflection there, but not too bad. So my guess is there's got to be some sort of pocket breakout here. These guys are pretty much stuck in. A little bit, the colors are a little bit hard to read. It's not too bad. These Germans are close to the Russians color-wise, but it's not too bad. And this is an extended division here, a Soviet extended division. And you put this marker down and you point toward the unit, the extended unit. in case you're wondering what that is. Okay, so next up we'll be learning more of the rules and seeing if we can get this solitaire scenario underway. There you go.